It started with something simple. A car that slowed down outside her home every night around 9. At first, she brushed it off. Maybe a lost driver, maybe a neighbor. But the way it stopped, the way the headlights lingered on her front porch, it didn't feel random. Kendra told her co-worker about it during a late shift at the county clinic. Her co-worker laughed it off, said maybe it was one of those high school boys showing off. Kendra didn't laugh. That same week, her front gate was found open. Nothing was stolen, just her porch light unscrewed and left dangling. So she called the sheriff's office. Kendra: "I think someone's coming around my house at night." Dispatcher: "Has anyone tried to get inside, ma'am?" Kendra: "Not yet, but..." Dispatcher: "Okay, well, without a crime, we can't really send someone out. If it happens again, call us back." That was the first warning, and the first time she was ignored. Over the next few weeks, Kendra kept a small notebook by her bed. Every night, she wrote the same thing. 9:07, car stopped again. Sometimes she'd add, "He got out." Other times, footsteps by window. She even bought a small home camera system, the cheap kind that uploads to the cloud. But the Wi-Fi in Millstone Creek was patchy. Half the footage never saved. Her sister, Monique, begged her to stay with family until things calmed down. Kendra refused. She didn't want to live in fear. Besides, she said, the police know now. If something happens, they'll come. Except they never did. One night in April, Kendra came home from work around 11 p.m. She noticed the same car again, an old gray sedan parked just past the tree line. When she turned into her driveway, the car drove away slowly, lights off. This time, she didn't hesitate. She dialed 911, soft reenactment. Dispatcher: "Millstone County 911, what's your emergency?" Kendra: "There's a car outside my house again. He's been here every night for a month." Dispatcher: "Is he on your property right now?" Kendra: "He's parked right at the end of my driveway." Dispatcher: "Do you know who it is?" Kendra: "No, but he's watching me." Dispatcher: "All right, we'll send a unit when one's available. Just stay inside, lock your doors." They never came that night. The call was logged as suspicious person, no contact. The officer assigned later admitted he didn't see the urgency. Neighbors remember seeing her lights flicker on and off through the night. One of them, an older man named Earl, later said, "I figured she was just scared of the dark." But there were more signs. Her mailbox was ripped off its post. Her tires were slashed, once, then again, 2 days later. The police report called it possible vandalism. At work, her hands started to tremble when she signed patient charts. Her co-workers whispered that she looked exhausted, but nobody asked why. 2 weeks before she vanished, Kendra walked into the Millstone Creek Sheriff's Office in person. She brought her phone with her, showed them blurry screenshots of headlights near her driveway and one grainy frame of a tall figure near her porch. Reenactment. Kendra: "I don't feel safe. He's getting closer." Deputy: "Ma'am, we can't identify anybody from that. You should install more lights, maybe a better camera." Kendra: "I already did. I just need someone to take this seriously." The deputy nodded, took her statement, and filed it under possible harassment. No follow-up. By May, Kendra stopped sleeping. She'd started parking her car a block away and walking home, hoping to throw off whoever was following her. Her sister said she looked thinner, jumpier. When Monique begged her again to stay with family, Kendra whispered, "If I leave, he wins." She began texting Monique every night at 10 p.m. Just one line: "I'm home safe." It was her ritual, her proof of survival. Until one night, the text didn't come. Monique called the sheriff's office just after midnight. They told her to wait 24 hours. Adults had the right to go missing, they said. She insisted something was wrong. Her sister would never go a night without checking in. By the next morning, Monique drove to Kendra's house herself. Her car was in the driveway, the front door locked, her purse and keys still on the kitchen table. No sign of Kendra, no sign of struggle, just silence. The investigation didn't begin until 48 hours later. When deputies finally checked her phone records, they found 3 outgoing calls to 911 in the weeks before she vanished, each labeled as non-emergency, each dismissed after no contact was made. They canvassed the neighborhood, but few had noticed anything unusual. One woman remembered hearing a car idling near Kendra's home the night before she disappeared, but by the time police arrived, any evidence was gone, washed away by the Georgia rain. Her camera system? The footage from that week was corrupted. Investigators blamed a cloud sync error. Every lead dissolved into another excuse. In small towns, everyone knows someone inside the system. That's why accountability gets slippery. The sheriff defended his department, said they followed procedure, said there was no credible threat. Reporters from Atlanta started calling. The case made local news. Nurse reported stalker weeks before vanishing. The county held a press conference, talked about mental health, stress, and the possibility that Kendra had chosen to leave. Monique stood at the back of that room, clutching her sister's notebook. On the last page, Kendra had written one line: "If something happens, tell them I tried to warn you." 3 months later, an abandoned gray sedan was found in a creek 5 miles from town. The plates matched a vehicle seen near Kendra's home. The driver was never identified. Fingerprints, smudged and incomplete. Inside the car, officers found a phone charger, a folded map, and a single earring, silver, shaped like a small heart. Monique said her sister owned a pair just like it. But without proof, the case stalled again. The file now reads, open, undetermined. Millstone Creek moved on. People got tired of talking about it. The sheriff was re-elected that fall. But Monique didn't stop. She started a Facebook page, Justice for Kendra. It grew slowly, then caught national attention. When a journalist connected her sister's case to others, women who'd reported stalking, only to disappear before any arrest was made. It wasn't just Millstone Creek, it was everywhere. A state audit later found that Millstone County's 911 dispatch system had delayed response flags in over 30 similar complaints. Women reporting harassment, break-ins, threats. Most calls labeled non-emergency. Each time, the same note: advise caller to stay inside. Not one resulted in an arrest before harm was done. The report collected dust. The same dispatchers kept their jobs, and Monique kept lighting candles at her sister's porch every May 12th. Some say Kendra just ran away. Some say she was taken. Others whisper she finally escaped a system that refused to see her fear. But the truth is simpler and harder to face. She did everything right. She called, she documented, she went to the police in person. And the system that was built to protect her chose convenience over care. That's what failure looks like. Not one big mistake, but 100 small ones ignored until it's too late. In Millstone Creek, people drive past her old house every day. The porch lights still broken. The camera still hangs rusted from the eaves. And on quiet nights, the sound of tires slowing on gravel still makes the neighbors turn their heads. Because everyone remembers what happened to Kendra Miles and how many times she tried to warn them before she disappeared. Do you think the system would have listened if someone else had called? Or was Kendra's voice ignored because of who she was and where she lived? Tell us what you think in the comments. And if you believe stories like hers deserve to be told, subscribe to Broken Justice, so you never miss the next one.